go, do you understand that there were paid people that were working for the federal government? There were employees of the federal government that were on that lawn trying to convince people to go in. And he was very incredulous. And I said, there are agent provocateurs that is their job to try to get you to do something illegal.
Exactly. So they can build their careers by making these arrests.
Not just that, but demonize the president, the former
100%.
president, to a much larger extent. To charge him with insurrection, to say that he was plotting to overthrow the government.
And as it turns out, the only one who was actually plotting to overthrow the government was John Brennan. In 2015 and 2016 with Russiagate, I remember talking to CIA friends of mine saying, you know, they taught us in training that you've got to follow the evidence. And there's no evidence that any of this happened. I worked with Christopher Steele on an operation in London 25 years ago, 26 years ago. So he goes out there, talks to whatever low-level, terrible sources he happened to have, writes all this nonsense down, sends it back, and they're like, oh, look what Donald Trump did. He hired prostitutes to pee on Barack Obama's bed. No, he didn't. One guy made this up, and Christopher Steele wrote it and sent it back. That doesn't make it fact.
Wasn't it funded by the Hillary Clinton?
It sure was. These January 6 people, let's say that some of them did do whatever, broke the window or went into the building unauthorized. Okay, then that's deserving of a smack on the hand and a strongly worded letter and maybe $1,000 fine. Don't do that again. 30 years in prison? Again, is society really better off by locking all these people up and spending millions and millions of dollars of the taxpayers' money to do it?
And it also very much distorted the narrative with people like Jim Gaffigan, who's a friend of mine, who's a very left-leaning comedian. And he had it in his mind that these people went in, and they also have this thing where they say a cop was murdered.
Right.
That's not true. One cop died after the fact of a heart attack. This idea that they killed cops, that narrative keeps coming out. It was an insurrection. They murdered cops. They broke into the White House. They were looking for Nancy Pelosi. They were going to kill her. Because there's a lot of this story that's bullshit.